What's up YouTube? I wanted to make this video because in the recent days, weeks, and month or two, I've been hearing and reading a lot about burnout and how a lot of creators are struggling with it. So I wanted to talk about some examples of different creators who are dealing with burnout and talk about kind of why they're dealing with it, but also talk about an important reason as to why burnout is so commonplace right now. Whether you want to do YouTube, or you want to be a gamer, you want to be a business owner, even for people who are entrepreneurs or they're working 9 to 5, I can say right now that a lot of them are experiencing burnout. So I will go through some examples of ones I've seen here, and of course Philip DeFranco did talk about this, which really made me want to make this video and explain this important point that nobody else is talking about. Let's talk about Pokimane first. She is a huge Twitch streamer, making millions and millions of dollars a year, has various successful business ventures, and she posted recently talking about how she needs to take a mental reset, take my life offline, having a proper break to help with career longevity. She talks about coming back refreshed and ready to make more content. We are talking about somebody who is making 7 figures a year, or maybe even more, and is living the life that most streamers want to do, just create content for a living and not have to worry about anything. And she is easily the top 10 streamers of all time. She's wonderful, she has a huge team, talent agency, etc. But she is dealing with burnout, despite where she is, her position on Twitch here. Now, here's another one here. FaZe Spargo, and I feel like some of my viewers are gonna know who this is, but just a bit of background here. Spargo is a young esports player for Smash Ultimate, and he recently got signed by FaZe, which is one of the largest esports publicly traded esports teams. And he's at this point, like, this is a dream come true for most people. Like, that's why I want to address this, really. It's a dream come true for most people. And after getting signed a few months ago, he also talked about how he's been struggling with mental health and it's getting worse. And it's absolutely awful. Like, that's why I think it's important to talk about, because he talks about how he had a terrible anxiety attack, he was feeling tired, and overall feeling very demotivated. And as a result, he talks about how he's going to be skipping a lot of tournaments. So attending tournaments is really critical to your Smash career, because it's going to help you with rankings and climb more and more, and being number one. And I just felt really sad, like, hearing about this, because, like, one thing about Spargo is that he is only 15 or 16, I think. He's very young, and at the beginning of the year, he was poised to be the #1 Smash player in 2 years. Like, MKLeo actually said, in 3 years, Spargo's gonna be #1 for sure, because in the recent tournaments, he was already taking names, and he was already getting close to like top #1. He was getting 2nd or 3rd, but it's just kind of crazy to see how burnout can affect him. This is a person who plays video games for a living. How many of you watching right now would want that? Like, I feel like that's a huge dream for most people. I've certainly wanted to do that. Doing what you love for a living and making bank off of it, that's the dream, right? But he talks about how he's been having anxiety attacks, and he's a young protege who got signed for a huge deal, and he's being crushed by all of the stress. Even a month later, he talked about how life hasn't been the greatest, but he's trying his best. He said he won't be competing for a very long time. This guy is not even that much of a content creator. That's the thing. Like, he streams, but he's not even, like, hitting the pavement hard. He actually spends more time being a good esports player rather than a streamer, rather than a content creator. He's an esports player, but he's still dealing with burnout as well. And the last one here, second last one, Azmin Gold. So I'm not as familiar with him, but he did blow up recently because he did extensive coverage of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which was really smart. So he streamed all of the trials and he just kept making content, getting millions and millions of views. I am positive that he probably doubled his streaming and online income, his YouTube ad revenue, probably doubled since 2 or 3 months ago. So he's doing well for himself, but same thing for him as well. You know, like they talk about how essentially they need to take, like he talks about he needs to take a couple days off streaming to get some much needed rest. And like he is a Twitch streamer, but he's also feeling the weight of burnout from what he does. Now the last person here, Shawn Mendes, who's Canadian, gotta rep him, and he's a pop star. He's a singer. You probably knew that. And he also talked about how he needs to cancel his tour to care for his mental health, and he did get some backlash for this. He talked about spending more time with his team and trying to take time he's never taken to ground himself and come back stronger. Like, to me, it's just kind of crazy, right? Like, for most people, this is the dream life. Like, being able to just go on camera, do whatever you want, and make money from it. Like, that is the dream that most people have, and not have to worry about it. Or singing, doing what you love passionately for a living. That's amazing. Playing video games for a living. Like, that's what a lot of people's dreams are. But it's just kind of insane that despite kind of where they are, they're experiencing burnout. And I want to clarify this in a sense where for people I've worked with, employees I've hired, companies I've worked with in the past, it's all the same. Like, no matter what it is, they are also experiencing burnout because of how it is. Okay, so let's talk about why this is the case here. Like, what is going on? Why is the world, like, is the world coming to an end? Is the economy going to just get screwed and we're all done for? So the thing that nobody's talking about that burnout is happening, it has to do with the systems and specifically the platforms that dictate our lives here. Like, in the last 10 years, social media platforms has pretty much consumed the entire society and economy. And I'm not hating on social media. Like, without social media, I would not be where I am today. There would not be like industries that are created. Like, it's great. But here's the thing. The reason why people are experiencing burnout is because these platforms and these systems, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all of these systems here, they reward basically workaholics. Like, this is one thing that nobody's talking about. It's like, why is everybody experiencing burnout? It's because the algorithm, the system is designed to reward people who overwork themselves, who stream all the time, who go to tournaments all the time, who create content all the time. Those are the people that are getting rewarded. But the thing is, here's the thing, like, why am I giving all of these examples here? Let me just get some dramatic effect going on here. Like, why is it that all these people from different walks of life, their days are different, their work is different? Why are they all experiencing the same thing? It's because as humans, we're not meant to function and to work in that kind of mindset. Like, the thing about, and just to preface this, I am not experiencing burnout. Like, I am actually feeling pretty creative. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't be posting on TikTok, on Instagram, all of that. But the thing is, there's always highs and lows when it comes to this. Like, nobody can ever just stay on there, and if they are, they're putting their mental health at risk. They're putting that on the line to make sure that they can do that. And I think that, you know, with the pressure of like making a living, like hitting 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever the case it might be, it just makes it so that the burnout becomes so much more prevalent. It trickles down to your employees. It affects your content if you're a content creator, etc. So the big point I want to make here for everybody who is struggling with this or thinking about or worried about burnout is that it is not your fault. It is the platforms, it is these billion-dollar tech companies who are making absurd amounts of money that are continuing to milk these people dry of content and of attention. It is the systems that reward overworking, pushing yourself to the limit. It is not your fault. The systems is what causes people to struggle and what causes people to realize that, or like they end up breaking down. Like Spargo, I'm pretty sure like if he might be in a better place right now if it wasn't for some of those social pressures that are created by these platforms here. So that was the point here, and I also wanted to make this video because I want to show that you are not alone, and that no matter how much you make, no matter how popular, how famous, how many followers you have, 0 or a million, that everybody is going through the same thing. And sure, it's a little selfish, but I mean, seeing these millionaires talking about struggling with mental health, it makes them more human. It makes me feel more human as well. The fact that they are also dealing with the problems that we have, it's a reflection of what is an issue in society right now. The society meme. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. Just keep in mind that you're not alone when it comes to dealing with burnout. Just keep in mind that everybody's struggling with this because this is the final form of social media. It is trying to get everybody's attention all the time, every day, every second. If you're not creating content, you know what's going to happen? Somebody with more energy, more resources, probably younger than you, is going to replace you. And that is a crazy thought to think about. Like, that is a crazy amount of stress to think about as well. So know that you're not alone, and know that it is okay to feel burnout, and it is okay to not always have a high-ranking video or get over 1,000 views or make over 5 figures this month. Like, that is just a result of the system that has been created by here. So that was a rant. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching here. And if you want to see more of my other videos, I'll probably have them somewhere floating here by now. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this encouraged you, and I hope that it makes you feel more human as well, knowing that everybody's dealing with the same struggle, no matter where they are on the ladder of success. See you next time.